Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
Hey, very good rainy Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports, which is presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening across the Edmonton Sports Talk audio streams at edmontonsportstalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Thank you for those watching on YouTube or listening on podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Matt Iwanyk with you here today, as I usually am. And with us today, Dash in the Park. He's back for his 30th Hangout. And then flip side, which is like one of our most, if not the most. And then on the flip side, first time Hangout guest, Kevin McCurdy in the house. Kevin, thank you for coming in.
Good.
Really appreciate you coming in. Dash, it's nice to have you here too.
Always a pleasure, my friend, Matthew.
Thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome.
This was a nice little surprise today.
You're welcome.
I'm very happy about that.
Good. You're glowing. You're glowing this morning.
Am I? It's the lights.
Oh, all right.
I never
You're
glow.
not pregnant. That's
I
good.
never. Yeah, no. It's, I don't glow much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing people say about Matthew Iwanyk.
No. It's especially in the morning.
The sparkle in his eyes when he smiles.
I am not much of a morning person. I hate mornings.
All three of us.
And yet
All
you
three
chose
of
to
us.
get into radio or TV or...
The thing is, though, is for radio, for the majority of my career, I didn't start till noon.
Okay,
My show didn't start till noon.
I respect it then.
Yeah.
Like, you have the ones that are you have to start at 6 a.m. and there's no way. There's no way.
And those are usually the best of the best. That's what the dream. And I went into radio going, I do not want to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
And my show started at noon. I got to work every day for 10. It was wonderful.
No, that's great. Just sleep in every single day.
Slept till like 9 o'clock, got ready, got to work.
That's my circadian rhythm right there. Sleep till 9, 10 o'clock, stay up till midnight, 1 in the morning.
It was wonderful.
Till I had a kid. Now it's 6 a.m. no matter whether I like it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I don't want that. The wake up part. That's the, but then,
No sleep schedule part?
So now I'm 9 o'clock. Well, 8:40 now. So it's not bad.
You snooze button guy?
Oh yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Yes. Well, see, and the thing is, when I worked at noon, didn't have to wake up to 9, I wouldn't have an alarm ever set. I never set my alarm.
Just routine.
It was just sleep, I'll wake up. And even for I think if I didn't set an alarm, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I think there'd be one day that all of a sudden I would sleep a little longer and then I'd be late for the hangout. So I have to set an alarm. But I am snooze guy full on.
Wait till you hit 40, you'll have to pee in the night and then it'll wake you up every time.
I wake up in the night. I don't sleep. I don't know. I can't sleep. I can't sleep through the entire night. Actually, last night was one of the few nights. I think I woke up at 5 in the morning. I was like, whoa, I actually slept.
Maybe that's why you're glowing.
Yeah, but I still feel a little tired. You a deep sleeper?
Yes, very. Yeah. Like a rock.
Jealous.
And then, hit the snooze button I don't know, a reasonable number of times, 13.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's reasonable? What's the over under at 10?
Until it stops letting me snooze it, because there's a limit.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 times.
You can
with
set
the
it
Samsung. I think it starts with, you could hit snooze. You could change the length.
You can change the length. So you can get up to I don't know, get an hour of snooze in there if you really want to. But
yeah, it's a maximum
of 3. 3 times.
Yeah, that's right. Maximum of 3, but you can set the snooze length in between.
Which I had it set for, I have it 6 minutes right now. I don't know why it's 6.
It's awful, really. You should just get out of bed.
Honestly, half the time you feel worse at the end of the snooze than you did.
Oh, for sure.
You just got up.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Yeah.
But it's so satisfying to just get another 20 minutes of sleep.
I just get 10 more. Just 10 more sleep.
That's all you want.
Yeah.
Or even just it's just nice to, I don't know, I'd like to just lie there, even if my eyes aren't closed. I'll go on my phone and it's just to know that that I'm just not going to miss that.
I run on about 20% brain power when my eyes first open. In fact, there's a little quick story. When I was in university, I had a final and I woke up that morning, and this is how my brain works when I wake up in the mornings. But during my snooze-a-thon button hitting, I convinced myself that you could buy time. So for, inflation, I'm not sure, but in my brain, it was $20 for an extra hour. And I was convinced that I had paid $40 to get an extra 2 hours of sleep and woke up an hour and a half late for my exam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Smart guy.
Yeah.
Dum-dum.
I wish like you could just like somehow pay to get like extra sleep. I mean, every office, like we should just move to a model where every work has like an hour nap time. You get your
little siesta.
Yeah. You get your half-hour lunch, you get your 2 breaks, and you should get like a 45-minute to an hour nap.
Yeah.
And every office should have like an open area or an area for naps, like sleep pods that they have in the airports and stuff.
It took way too long to get those in the airports, though, like proper sleep pods.
Oh, man.
And even still.
Sleeping with your arm under a bar and using your suitcase or your bag as a pillow. It's awful.
Permanent neck damage from just hanging out in the airport.
Yeah. Just trying to get a nap in.
I don't know if I'd use them.
No?
How often do they get cleaned? Like that'd be the thing.
That's such a
I think
Matthew
you pay
evaluation.
for most of them, so they actually are like
They're clean, pretty clean.
yeah, and I think they're like leather padding inside and stuff, so they're fairly. And the ones that I remember seeing are like a single person pod, right? Like
Yes.
There's no.
No, it's just, but you never know like what that other person, like how clean they are and stuff. I did watch a guy, I've gotten into, there's this like Englishman who travels and he'll like roll dice and he'll be like, if it's this, I'm going to this country. And he tries to just go on like cheap airlines and he goes to like, Kazakhstan and stays in a 1-star hotel versus a 5-star, all those type of things. Yeah. But he had such a quick flight that instead of getting a hotel, he just got a pod for it. He said it was a terrible sleep. But I think it's not bad. If instead of getting a full hotel, you can just go grab a pod for a couple of hours. You're good to go. Baptized Big Uke, a good 20-minute nap can change everything. I think Jeff Kershell says the number. Well, I think he says it's 25 minutes or something.
If it's longer than that, you wake up like you just came out of a coma, and it takes like an hour and a half to get going.
Well, then you
get into a REM cycle and all that, and it messes with you. So you need that little quick power nap and stuff. The only problem is whenever I do that, like I'll set an alarm even for 15. Yeah. And then I'll wake, like it goes off, and I'm like, well, screw this, off, back to sleep, and then I'm out. Okay, Baptized Big Uke, seen that guy. Yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. It makes me want to go to some actually countries I've never thought of, to partly be like, those countries look interesting and all of that. The EST Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transition. Canadian storage provider. Be sure to buy Canadian. Check them out, sentinel.ca. Oilers, game 2 of a 5-game homestand tonight down at Rogers Place. The Seattle Kraken come to town. Oilers looking for their second win in 6 days against the Seattle Kraken, but also their first win on this road trip after a good game against the Minnesota Wild. GCLD's Ulster and pre- and post-game shows, Tommy and Benny. We'll get you set for tonight's game, but we'll also get you set for tonight's game. How you guys feeling right off the bat of this game, and feeling like the Oilers will be able to bring back the magic from Saturday?
I don't know. I think they played a good game against Minnesota, right? Like it was technically a pretty strong game. Could argue that the one goal was a little bit weak, but that flyby screen was a flyby screen, right? And changed the angle. He had to change the viewport and went in. Would have been nice to get the save and end up going to OT, but I think that if they bring that game against Seattle, they'll be fine tonight.
Funny how them bringing a 40-minute game is now the standard, hey? You're like, hey, they played a great game when they played 40 good minutes.
I thought it was more than 40. I thought it was pretty technical. If there was any time that they didn't play or they were not there, neither was Minnesota. So it wasn't like they were being... I don't feel like they were really tilted too badly in that game, one way or the other. A third line got caved.
Yeah, third line always gets caved. McDavid's fast, winter's wet. I don't know. I think that there's maybe from the 5-minute mark on to part of the way into the second period, I thought the Oilers kind of backed off. If started strong, slowed down, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes, and then played a pretty solid end of the game. Got goalied, didn't get goalied, whatever. I don't know if you can get...
That was the most predictable shutout in the history.
There's no doubt about it.
You had to know that shutout was coming.
Ex-Oilers ruin Oilers.
It's going to be a shutout or a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
I brought it up in the lock shop that day to Haas.
Yeah, or
I think
Wallstead scores on an empty net or something.
It really sucks playing Minnesota anyways, basically every time we play them, because it's always just this grueling.
Who's that other goalie that used to kill who was there that used to?
Manny Fernandez used to be there.
No, it was somebody else who was in Minnesota for like 10 years that we couldn't beat him for like 8 out of 10 years or something like that.
It's like Joey Decord too, right? Like, you say what you will about Seattle, but every time we play that guy, I feel like he stands on his head.
Yeah. Just matches well against us or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay, Matthew.
Or,
I don't know.
any backup goaltender in the league that's got like 3 games played.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nicholas Backstrom?
Backstrom, thank you, yeah. We couldn't beat Backstrom for like 8 years or something.
I forgot about Manny Fernandez, though.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain went there first, but...
Well, I think it was 01 to 07, so he's kind of like in that range of like their first real goalie. Mm-hmm. There was Dwayne Rollis in there too or something, anyone like that. But can you ever truly play a full 60-minute game?
You can. Yeah.
On a consistent basis.
Can you play
Do they want to?
Well, I want, like, there's always going to be moments in the game where the other team's going to take advantage or take the game themselves. I feel like sometimes it's not always easy to just go play a full 60. Sometimes the other team, when you're going up against the Minnesota Wild, like, I don't know if you could ever play a full 60 against them because they're just a good hockey team too.
Can you play a full 60 in November and December? That's they played a lot of hockey in the past 2 years.
Not if you got a 97 on the back of your jersey. I don't know.
I know, but you played a lot of. But
yeah, of course.
We could talk about maybe the amount of hockey that they've played is just contributing to even where McDavid and Draisaitl are at this year, right?
Yeah.
Like those guys are still laying down the points, but they don't like their dominance is
Waning.
I wouldn't even say it's waning. Every time he touches the puck, he's still magical, right? Like every time he touches the puck. But there's more bobbles. There's more mistakes. There's like coming in right at the end of the game, button hook, pass to nobody, game over. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's not Connor McDavid that I know.
I've seen some more egregious giveaways this year. It feels like they've cost us more.
It's like they're trying to protect. It's like they're trying to protect restaurants against, right? Like everything that they do is structured against, point shots, all of that stuff is to prevent the puck going the other way. And, I think we have a pretty good idea of why that might be. I think it's somewhat systems based. I think it's somewhat, they're still, Skinner and Pickard have done okay at starting to get back on track. But there was a period there where every time the puck went the other direction, ended up in the back of the net. It's the same thing that happened to Woodcroft.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it a systems thing or is it just a fear of what will happen if you give it up? And
all of the above.
Yeah.
It's a deathly fear of giving up defensive mistakes. That's the hot take.
Maybe they're manifesting them then. The more you think about it, the higher chance it has of happening. Because if they're concentrating on minimizing defensive mistakes, there's something going wrong.
When you play scared, it changes your mindset because you don't have that trust. I never played pro hockey at a highly competitive level, but I played enough hockey in my life to know that every time that you depending on your mindset and your trust and what's going on behind you, in front of you, whatever, changes how you play the game.
There's no doubt, especially on the defensive and goaltending side of the puck.
Look at our roads. When it's bad weather and if you're driving scared, sometimes you're the worst thing that can happen on those roads.
The person driving half the speed limit because they don't know that,
Right, you're more dangerous.
And that's where it's sometimes, the Oilers, it's happened so much now this season, especially where now you're just worried about, okay, if I make this mistake, it is going to go the other way. It's going to go in the back of the net. And that's a goal. And that's wearing on them a little bit and then as you say, there's systems to all of that. But it's one of those, how do you then go about fixing this? Is it first fixing a system or is it going to go get a goalie?
Well, I don't know. And like to Kevin's point, I can give you real life examples. When I played major midget or when I played junior, I was a forward. And then when I came back to move to Edmonton and started playing rec league, I moved back to defense. And I'll tell you, it's a different game back there. And if you haven't played your whole life there and you don't have that muscle memory, you don't have that, default built into exactly where to be in certain moments, man, you get caught spinning a lot. And around the net, when the puck's moving fast, I know as a defenseman that if I've got a goalie behind me that I don't necessarily trust, I play defense differently. I'm more committed. I try to block shots instead of letting the goalie have them. Versus if I'm a goalie and I don't trust my defenseman, now you might not trust your defenseman being able to stop a slot shot or a slot pass going across. So you start cheating, thinking, well, I need to make that save because he's not going to stop the pass. And then you open up your short side. So not having trust is a legitimate, absolute, can have a negative effect. There's no doubt about it. You talked about the system a lot here, though. I do think there's issues with the system. And I think we've had this little bit of discussion has been going around whether Knobloch is coaching the offense out of the Oilers. I did a bit of a dive on it, and I think there's statistical evidence that can kind of prove that they are. I don't know how you guys feel on that and what your thoughts are on the whole Knobloch coaching offense out situation, but
I think it's partly systems based, but they've been adamant that the system hasn't changed. But then there's other folks that are outside of the Oilers organization saying, well, but the evidence doesn't support that, right? So I don't think they've changed their systems a lot, but I think it's a rush chances against thing. Like the Oilers, I have to check again. I haven't looked in a minute, but the Oilers had 3 of the top 15 defensive shots taken or defensive shots attempt taken in the league.
Yeah, I can talk to that.
That's crazy.
In the research I did.
And I got no problems with good point shots. I got a lot of problems with muffins that kill plays.
Yeah, I think you're helping prove the point that the system is an issue. I think that
they're not generating anything inside either.
This is why, because of the system, Kevin.
But even on the point shots, you're relying on somebody being in front to stir crap up, right? And that's just not happening.
Right.
Like the net front presence has been when it's there, they score goals,
minimal and abysmal.
When it's not, they don't.
And the system has them.
Yeah.
Basically playing perimeter hockey. So I went and did a bit of a deep dive. 38% volume of shots right now are coming from the defense. Historically,
compared to other teams, what does that look like?
There isn't research done on all 32 teams right now. Somebody did some research on the Oilers, but what is statistically available is the historical data, which most teams average. Last year, previous years, 15% of their shot volume comes from their defensemen or from the blue line. Right now, the Edmonton Oilers are at 38%, over double what the historic league average is. That is very much, to your point, Kevin, the system, because they are taking those shots from the point because they're scared to lose possession. That is the system. The system has them playing the perimeter because they are scared, because they don't want to dump it, and because they don't want to give up possession. That volume coming from the point instead of from closer in or from the corners is exactly going to create a lack of traffic in net front. Knobloch's system is literally putting them in the wrong areas of the ice to be able to score consistently.
Is it Knobloch's system?
Well, Coffey and Gully are gone, so whose system is it? It's not McFarland's.
I guess it depends on what role you consider. Because see, the thing is that McFarland has done a lot of talking when he was still working for Seattle about generating rush chances, and that's one thing they're not doing this year. It's mind-boggling stuff, man.
System.
This team is so deadly on the rush when they actually can, but like.
Okay, yes, they are. You're not wrong. They are deadly on the rush.
But they're not generating rush chances.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So 2 things there. They're deadly on the rush up until they get to the finals.
Yeah.
Because Paul Maurice figured out a way to thwart that rush.
Right, but you're talking about Florida.
Yeah, you're talking about also...
You're talking about one of the most
goals to win a cup.
The
goals to win a cup, gentlemen. It's not to get to the playoffs.
Absolutely, but there is a point where, sometimes there's just a better team.
Sure. Yeah, and that is what happened.
Florida
There's no doubt.
A machine.
So
last year they were a machine. The year before it was a coin toss who won the cup final.
Yeah. I mean, McDavid's interview after the finals, right? We kept trying to do the same thing over and over again and expected different results. And I think that there was a concerted effort in the offseason to be able to change the way that they enter the zone. And I think that has changed. Now, the thing that Knobloch has identifiably done is bring a forward back further so that they can break out together. Now, I think Connor and Draisaitl must have their own rules because they can rush the
resets
zone
are
and
crazy,
flee the
man.
zone whenever they want.
The resets are crazy, though. There's times where they need to be just taking immediate into rush chance
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
and
yeah.
they button hook back and reset
Yeah.
and try and rush into
Agreed.
a set defense.
And that's not helping rush speed into the zone because you are giving the other team time to reset, right? So now that they
Attacking them in
can,
transition is more effective than attacking into set defense.
that's right. So it's my opinion that bringing that forward back all the time in the breakouts for the zone exits is also thwarting their ability to be able to enter the offensive zone with speed. They're also doing it more east-west. And I think it's a protect the puck possession thing as opposed to going north-south. They aren't entering the blue line north-south, especially Connor like he used to. And I think it's led to the team looking more boring. It's led to less high danger scoring chances. Like statistically, they're down 20 or 30% this year on high danger scoring chances per 60. They've got a significant drop in expected goals for percentage.
Yeah.
They've got a massive increase in shots from the point. And I don't know if you saw a post on Jonathan Willis that he had on there, but 9 5-on-5 zone and offensive zone rush entries. I'll say that again. 5-on-5 offensive zone rush entries. 9 in 21 games. Last year they had 56 at that time.
So somebody that I trust reached out to me privately and advised some caution in using the NHL's tracking statistics for rush chances because what is a rush chance? And that's not, it's like hits and blocks. Like the league is notoriously bad at tracking play by play.
It's so subjective.
It's so
you have so many
subject-
different
yeah.
people doing it. Each
Yes.
barn's different. It's very hard to just have a consistent basis on those.
Subjective can cause this much of a difference. Subjective can cause a 9 to 56 difference.
And I'm not disagreeing with young Willis by any means, right? Like Johnny's
He's bang on, yeah.
He's a really smart guy.
Would you call him Young Willis?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's an old nickname. He's a really, really smart dude. I really like the way that he approaches analytics. And I think that there is absolutely something there as far as there being a real drop in rush chances against. Like I said, I think the resets, like they try and attack set defense constantly, and it's been a really frustrating experience for them. Their breakouts suck this year. Like it's nothing close to what they were when under Coffey's leadership. Like, and Coffey may have been a figurehead, but he was getting results. Like, I don't know what Coffey's role was and wasn't, but looking at last year and the year before versus what this year is, like Brett Kulak is struggling. When does that happen?
Yeah.
Is that a regression? I don't think so.
But it might be a mix of both at that point, but I don't think there's ever one thing. But to your point, like you brought up that, coaching hasn't, they were saying coaching hasn't changed, but you have had new people on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just naturally, they're not going to be able to coach the exact same thing because they have certain different things. So naturally right there, there is something that is
Paul Coffey was on the bench, and Paul Coffey and Knobloch were not getting along. Paul Coffey is higher in the hierarchy for the Edmonton Oilers club than Jeff Jackson. He's Jeff Jackson's boss. And you've got that guy on the bench with you. You're going to default to that guy. You're going to let Gully and Coffey coach your team for you. To a certain extent, I think you're just like defaulting to respect. But this is
I don't
now
think it's defaulting
this
to
is his
respect.
team this year. This is Knobloch's system for the first time this year, and this is the year that we've seen massive declines.
It started 2 years ago though. And it's like this been been this
fair,
precipitous drop.
I agree. Which is all signs of Knobloch's doing until now. He's had full reins and
But okay, let's flip the table for a second. What changed in the offseason? You lost Corey Perry, you lost Connor Brown, Evander Kane,
Victor Arvidsson.
Wow. I mean,
And I'm just sure who else.
he's talking about guys that drive the bus, I'm sure.
no, he's not wrong. Like Victor Arvidsson, as much time as he spent on his ass
Or knees.
or his knees,
or in the press box. due to injury.
He
exactly.
had a give an F though. At least he had a motor.
Yeah, he had a motor, and like it wasn't from But what have we replaced it with? We replaced it with youth that are still figuring out. There's nothing wrong with that. We needed to get younger. There's no doubt that this team needed to get younger. The wear and tear was doing them in by the time they got. One of the reasons they lost the Stanley Cup was injury. Mm-hmm. Like losing Zach Hyman was huge.
I do wonder what would have happened in that series had that.
He can carry whole games, and that's
and he was having a great playoffs.
And 3 years ago, you would tell me that's an insane thing to say about Zach Hyman, but it's really like it's a work ethic thing with him, right? Like he inspires the change that he wants to see in his team. Yeah. Every shift.
Yes.
Every shift. There is no off for Zach Hyman. If he's on the ice, he is flying. Like how many off games have you seen Zach Hyman have for the Edmonton Oilers?
No,
there's sometimes
not on effort, that's for sure. Yeah,
but
exactly.
on effort, it doesn't happen. And that's what you want to see from. That's what, in a way, that's kind of what I see from Matt Savoy, right? Like he doesn't, he might have games where the puck doesn't go his way, but it sure isn't from lack of effort.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like 3 players on the Oilers that are driving offense right now, and Matt Savoy is one of them.
100%. Who's the other two?
Analytically, he's a little bit underwater in terms of expected goals and whatnot because his role is still changing and he's still figuring it out. But
Ryan McDavid, the other two?
Yeah.
Roslovic.
Well,
injured,
but even then, he's still like middle of the pack, right?
He can push the river though.
Absolutely. And the thing I like about Roslovic is he's not. All these other guys defer to Connor and Leon.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
All of the other guys defer to Connor and Leon, especially the young guys. But Roslovic just doesn't care. Like he does his own thing, and I think that the leaders respect that because you need that in the top 6.
Yeah.
One of the reasons he's been effective is he's not afraid to just write his own path.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And I can understand being a young guy coming in and you have 2 of the best players in the world on your team. How do you not defer to them?
Yeah.
How do you go about changing that though as a team? Like that's an interesting. How do you go and be like, no. It is okay to take this shot. Don't pass it to me type thing.
Yeah.
Early in the season, you actually heard McDavid. Like you could hear him on the on ice mics. He told Savoy on more than one. He's go with it, and he turned up the wheels to 11, and off he went. Right, like, but
anytime. Sorry,
no, it's just frustrating to like watch. Especially to watch people that have been here and then go on to other teams and then be like ultra successful the year after they leave. And you kind of like when you have enough of those in a row, you kind of have to wonder why. Yeah. Is it because they finally have the handcuffs off and they've been tuned up to that ultra high standard that the Oilers have, and now they're free with 20 minutes, 25 minutes a night on a new team to really generate their own future there, right? Yeah. And you're taking the handcuffs of playing with Connor and Leon. Like, don't get me wrong, like that's not an insult, but you defer to the 2 best players in the world. That's just how the team is built.
Yeah, of course.
And when you go to the Buffaloes, if you're Ryan McLeod last season or the season before, for example, and you're playing top 6 minutes, or if you're
well, it's not just the top 6 minutes. You just have no one to defer to.
Yeah, no, so you have to generate it yourself.
Yeah.
Warren Fogle for the Kings, like all these guys had good seasons, like well above average seasons for their career, and it's because they have that standard that the Oilers have historically had. And that's what is so disappointing is that the standard has slipped maybe a little bit this season, maybe a little bit. Maybe it's just not there yet. And
maybe it's not there
because
yet.
you're training a bunch of new guys together. You're 40% of your team is new, right?
Yes, that's a part of. Like you could argue that this deference to 97 and 29 is potentially an underlying issue with the team as opposed to
it's expected with Draisaitl though. Like it's expected.
Well, and that's why he wants Yamo and Pod and those guys as line mates. They feed him the puck.
He can turn guys that are by themselves not strong players into strong players.
He's doing it right now. He's got 2 third liners on the wing.
I still have this feeling that at some point Pods is going to break free and
You think so? I
something
don't
is
know.
going to emerge from the chrysalis, right?
I agree with what
he's-
Boudreaux said this morning. I think he just is what he is and works his butt off and never takes a shift off, and he's going to get you 15.
Yeah. But occasionally he shoots the puck and ear holes a goalie, and it's just like the wildest thing you've ever seen in your life, right? Like,
That doesn't count on the score sheet, though.
Shot attempt.
Yeah, there you go.
well, I mean, except for when you ear hole the goalie and it goes in.
Oh, if it goes in after. Sorry, pardon me. I missed that. Yes.
He shelved it, 3 games ago?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of on the goalie, but like,
Yeah, it
still
goes
a
in.
hell of a shot, man.
The thing about, like, if you don't defer to those guys with, like, the fundamentals of hockey will say, like, if Savoy or any of those guys can drive the blue line and pull players towards them, they're creating space for the best players
That's
in the
one
world.
thing that
you
Leon
know?
hasn't had this year's space.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, he creates it for himself.
They're,
with that big
they're letting
butt of
his line mates do more and him do less in terms of like the space. Mm-hmm. That's how they're defensively attacking because they know that the deferral is coming.
Yep, I would agree.
It's one of the reasons why Roslovic was successful is because
Sure.
he had more space and he wasn't afraid to take it either.
And the type of player that can take advantage of space when he has it.
Yeah. It's a real lack of, well, I was going to say there's a lack of shoot from distance, but that's not a problem from the defense. There's a lack of shoot from distance from the forwards or from anywhere really, right? Like, and net front presence for this team has not been as good as it has been in years before.
And statistically proven. There's less shots from the slot, less traffic in the slot, more perimeter shots, more defense shots.
Well, not having Hyman to start the year, that didn't help the case.
They haven't really had a healthy lineup at all. First chance of seeing
Hyman
Hyman,
is out.
McDavid, and Nuge tonight.
Yeah. And now Roslovic's out. You know, he wasn't there for the start of the year. Came a couple of
Kapanen.
games in.
Oh man, that Kapanen thing is so frustrating. Like one game away from, or one practice away from when he re-injures himself. Like,
What
clearly
happened
what-
in that practice there? Like just
I think he re-injured
re-popped
his knee.
something. But
Yeah.
Still a tweak. You know, it's like the Trent Frederick situation last year. No matter what you do in practice, you think it feels good, whatever. But
I saw
for Frederick, it was on the ice in the game. It hurt, but there, you think you're good to go. Everything's good. You got to eventually put on the gear. You put it on you on the ice, and
the video
not
that
it.
Shog posted of him like smashing all the sticks or
Kapanen?
whatever.
Yeah.
It looked like the rest of the players were going through a stretch or something.
Yeah, that was literally the last drill of the practice, and they do their stretch cool down at the end of the thing, and the only thing Kapanen was stretching was the stick rack.
Well said.
Hey man, I don't have an issue with that. Like
No.
if
Pulled
if,
a
I'd be
Tuukka
pissed if you're so close to coming
if you're
back
so close to coming back,
and you then know something went wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to be pissed off, and that just to me screams it's probably going to be a little bit longer because you know something went wrong.
As soon as he did that, yeah.
you're just like, well, I like that. That must suck. Like anytime you're so close, like anything you do in life, like, you're so close to almost doing it, and then something derails it.
No.
Going to be angry. And yeah, he was ready to come back. You're probably 2 days away, and now you're like, well, it's going to
he's
be
on a
week,
show
2
me
weeks away.
contract, right? So like,
Yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
when you're
that's a
when
good point
you
too.
when you're out
Yeah, that
6
injury
weeks,
cost him
and then you're
$1 million.
probably like, I'm not going to speculate because I'm not inside.
Never
that
thought
room.
about it that way.
But you know, I'm expecting it's going to be 4 to 6 more weeks until he's back, right? And
but-
hopefully
but-
I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Even
but-
if it's right now with the condensed schedule, if it's 2 weeks,
Yeah.
the amount of games that are being
Yeah.
played in 2 weeks, just that in itself, it's a lot. There's 15 games this month for the Edmonton Oilers.
injuries this year for all the teams are
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Well, Olympic year.
Yeah, this condensed schedule is going to cause that.
Yep.
You know, the NBA I know has had some of those issues in the past, and with they've gone a condensed schedule. They're trying to space those things out. But yeah, that's when you have a physical sport like hockey, and you're trying to squeeze in the same amount of games in a little bit of less time. It's going to lead to those injuries, and that stinks. And now we'll see if the NHL goes to the Olympics.
You don't think they will?
Yeah, they will. What was the thing though? It was Bill Daly said there's no plan B. The only way they wouldn't go is if the rink's not done.
Well, I mean, does the rink being too small count as the rink not being done?
They've apparently, even though it goes against the agreement of what they signed with the IIHF, their NHL's okay with it, that they'll still send players. But the rink now has to get done, which it's not. It was supposed to be, I think, initially open this month to do some tests. Events.
have a roof last
Didn't
month.
happen, so now it's moved to like January's the test event, so it's going to be tight. But that's the only thing Bill
crazy,
Daly
'cause
said yesterday.
All the previous ones, they've had a whole year with the facility to bug it out and make sure everything's working, right?
Not those Italians.
Well,
Put it nice and tight, nice and close to
Measure
the
once, cut twice.
Exactly. So yeah, well, the thing from Bill Daly that I saw yesterday from some reports was there is no plan B. The only way they wouldn't go is if the rink's not done, they're not sending NHL players there, which I don't know what they consider done or not. I wouldn't be shocked if the games are happening and you see a couple of pictures of people still drilling in seats and stuff like that, but it's going to be tight.
That's going to be tight on the ice, too.
Well, I was about to say, both with the construction and on the ice.
It's only 4 feet, but you mean...
North-south, it's a goal line type thing. So I don't know how they'll paint the lines.
I don't even know how you adjust for that.
What did I read? Another thing yesterday. So was it Pittsburgh, Nashville that played a Global Series game this year? Somebody played Global Series game in Sweden or something like that. I guess it was smaller NHL ice. It wasn't NHL size. Even where they went, it was a little smaller, and they took it out of the neutral zone.
Have they?
I guess that makes the most sense.
Yeah, they didn't want to take it out of the offensive defensive zones, and it's 3 feet, so 1.5 on each side would have to be
Is
dealt
it
with.
confirmed that it's
3 feet
lengthwise?
Yeah.
Because Dusty said this morning on air that he thought he heard now that it's widthwise, but then Bruce Boudreau came on and said it is lengthwise again. So
Everything I saw yesterday was saying it was
So it would be
north
neutral
south,
zone?
goal line to goal line. I didn't see anything east west unless something now. Again,
it was new to me until I heard
They
Dusty
screwed
say
up
it,
the
but-
ice, so who knows? There might be another screw up of you guys were talking this way. No, it was this way, and who knows?
both ways.
Better hope the ice plant actually works. No,
They got a lot of
Well,
time
that
to
might
test
be the
it.
thing that might be the thing that Bill Daly's referencing of the rink not being done.
Yeah.
Where it's one of those, there's no
you just have
test
to go-
events.
you
You
just gotta
throw that
commission.
on, and if there's no ice, proper ice, that might be the thing where they're going, this isn't done. You don't have proper ice. We can't send our NHLers on that surface.
Yeah.
And I everything we've heard from the Italian committee that's hosting these is that there is no plan B even for them of where to take these. So I don't know what would happen.
It's just kind of a strange thing, right? Because you think, international ice is huge. And NHL ice is smaller than international ice by quite a bit. Width and behind the nets, it's like there's like an entire parking lot behind the the net in international ice.
I think it's like 15 wide feet.
It's a
different.
I've skated international ice. It's a huge difference. And so I don't understand how they got through the planning process and it's undersized to even an NHL rinks.
Apparently, metrics or the meters to some of that might have played a factor.
Oh, come
And no
on.
oversight. No oversight to this. It seems like I don't know.
NASA also blew up a space shuttle
I
because
don't know.
they couldn't convert.
Is that what happened?
It wasn't the space shuttle. It was Mars lander. They
that's-
did
the rover, yes.
Yeah, they did the calculations in like
Imperial instead of
Newton
metric.
meters or something, and then converted it, and then that didn't work out.
But it's like, where is the double IHF? Where's the NHL? Where's the Olympic Committee? Like the Italians? Where's the where's everyone like confirming these plans and getting multiple sign-offs? Like, this is it, this is it, this is it, and then constant checks.
Isn't there just a level of logic and assumption at some point in time? Like, here you are a construction company. Here are the dimensions of an arena. Here are the dimensions of the ice surface. Please build this.
But if they got the meters and that wrong,
My phone can convert meters to feet pretty easily. Do they not have those in Italy?
they might not care. That's the other part to this. They might not actually.
They end their workday
there
at
might
2
have been-
p.m.
Well, it's
have a nap.
It's siesta time. Okay, we're off. Yeah, that's fine. And then when they come back, they figure out where they are. They had their glass of wine, and they go, "Oh, okay. Well, this is where we're at."
To be fair, like that's a lot of logistics to come together in any country, right? Like, doesn't matter if it's like we look at this as Canadians and go, that's unforgivable because ice hockey's in our blood, right? It is, lacrosse may be our official sport, but hockey is.
That's what Canadian. That's what we're associated with.
It's like
So
Italians
we
putting
take-
lettuce
we
on a pizza.
Well, exactly, right? It's like handing a can of pineapple to the Italians saying, "Here, put this on your
there you go.
pizza,"
There's
right?
better.
Like they look at you like, that's offensive, right? But to them and to, you know, other countries in the world, it might not seem like as big a deal, right? I don't know.
Well, and we were looking yesterday, the rink afterwards is going to be multi-purpose, but it's replacing some other rink in Milan.
Yeah.
But they don't have a hockey team there. It's a basketball team.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fine for a basketball rink. So to your point, they don't know the dimensions, that they think they got it, but they're even looking, okay, this is for a 2-week event, but in their mind too, it's okay, no, this is for long term.
Yeah.
And this is perfect. Everything we need is there.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys say you can't put a hockey rink in there? Well, of course you can. And now they're having to deal with that. So
one of the most depressing things about the Olympics is like looking at the, you know, 20 years post Olympics and the state of the facilities that were built for that, like billions of dollars of investment. And, you know, you look at Sochi and Bosnia and all these.
Well, the bird's nest in China is completely.
Yeah, they're just, and like some of the advanced water facilities for the Summer Olympics and stuff, and all of it's just not even serviceable after the Olympics. Like
all those buildings in Brazil have been leveled.
Probably 8 years ago now, there was an AP thing where they took pictures of Greece.
Yeah.
Just went to a bunch of venues, but the ball diamond was just weeds everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
can
in
afford to
Brazil,
maintain
one of
them
the
after.
places, one of the stadiums is for buses. It's a bus park.
Yeah.
I always thought the IOC was in for a reckoning at one point. I think it's there for the winter. I don't think a lot of people want the winter games anymore. But the summer games people still want.
But even in Calgary, like the ski jump needs a total refurb because it's not state of the art anymore. So
there's a lot of that's no longer used anymore. And then they, as a city, turned down through a referendum the idea of running for these Olympics, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And part of I remember hearing from one reporter down there just pointing out that like Calgary didn't do a good enough job of consistently refurbishing everything, which would have made the Olympics easier to host.
Yeah.
Because you're not building a bunch of new facilities.
I think they need to consider looking at from like a sustainability model of having a few host cities and moving it around moving it around the planet based on, but not necessarily building new facilities for every single Olympics.
Well, Gager and I were diving that discussion yesterday because I've always, myself and Dave Jameson, we used to talk about the idea of like Summer Olympics, certain countries just host events and it's a global thing every 4 years.
Yeah.
And there's no real true host.
Yeah.
Gager came up with an idea where you have a host and they host like maybe 50% of the games in their city.
Yeah.
And that's what they focus on. But for bigger things like hockey, should always be in NHL barns. It should always be played over here for those Olympics or something like that.
Build an NHL grade barn in Europe if you have to.
It's sure. And you could go back and forth wherever it is. Like surfing was done into Fiji.
Yeah.
For this last Olympics, you could have certain events that go.
Whistler for ski, right?
OKC is going to be doing LA Olympics for a couple of events.
Yeah.
And that's OKC's pretty far. So the only problem is it's the IOC.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in sustainability. They're interested in lining their own pockets. And how could they line their own pockets? And so, we'll see how that fully plays out.
Yeah.
But that was a little tangent that we got on the side there with these Olympics.
Detour.
It's always fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's shorter. It's the 196.
So I think you could probably take out mostly from the neutral zone, take a little bit out of the offensive defensive zones.
Like if they haven't decided to put a roof on this arena yet, have they decided where the 3.5 feet is coming out of? Like, do they really know that that's coming out of the offensive zone?
But I think it's for I'm assuming ice plant stuff.
Yeah,
sure, but
it depends.
They're laying down all the piping for it and stuff, and that's how they know it's too short.
Fair, but
if they can't freeze a big enough surface, then
you can't really decide at this point where you're going to take the 3.5 feet out of.
Sure, you can.
You do well.
I mean, you have to decide now, but they don't necessarily know.
Well, but you know that so I'm assuming how they have the
it's wherever they paint the lines.
Well, so now it's coming to where you paint the line, so you can make that decision.
Yeah,
because you have the dimensions now, so you can sit there and be like, okay. Here's the center ice is center ice. We can't move that.
Divide by 2.
It's 1.5. Yeah.
Measure from your end boards. Draw your blue lines, and then whatever the neutral zone turns out to be is what the neutral zone turns out to be. That's the only. I feel like that's the only way because you need to have two full size zones, right?
Yeah.
Like.
So it's 1.5 on each side. You're taking out.
Yeah.
Could you take away a foot in each side of the neutral zone and half a foot in each offensive defensive zone?
Take it from behind the net like it used to be. take Gretzky's off. So
I'm just trying to. How much room is there back there? I don't think
now there's. Well, I mean, that's how it used to be. You didn't always use.
But
to be able to escape
those
on
guys
there.
are used to playing with the space that's there, right? Like the place.
I think that's the one spot you can't touch.
You can't touch that.
Yeah,
because
It
I
would
think
be
you're changing the
dangerous
game.
for a foot and a half.
you're changing the game no matter what.
Yeah, but if you're changing the offensive, defensive, there's still so much room.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going from behind the goal line, even a quarter of a foot or something, I think that just with how small that already is, that's like the amount of space that you're actually, like the percent wise, you're taking away a greater percent wise of that than anywhere else.
But the neutral zone
what it is,
the least, right? Like in terms of.
But it affects how you break out. It affects how you break in. It affects how you play your 1-3-1. It affects how you play your 2-2-1. It affects how you. It affects your ability to be able to catch a guy easier on the back check.
It makes it harder to practice for sure, because unless you're in that facility practicing on that ice, and when you have
that's a good point.
However many teams, if you don't have an identical facility to that to practice on,
push your nets in a foot and a half and paint new blue lines, I guess.
yeah,
But
I mean, but
gets a bingo dauber and make a new blue line.
That is a fascinating point, though, because it's the only time these guys going to play on these ice or see these ice
how are they
during
going to practice
game.
on it? Like you're going to have 16 teams or whatever.
I don't know where
practice ice.
Yeah, in the practice ice, I don't know how you just all of a sudden get rid of 3 feet. You would
Exactly
have
what
to
I
put in,
just
you would
said.
have to put in fake board, but you'd still like you need the boards installed.
Well, yeah,
so you'd have to
I
put
see
in,
what you're saying.
you'd have to
Yeah,
put
now
in
there's a bunch
something
of-
fake
yeah. Gotcha.
to take away some of that too, so that
You could
can't-
replicate the neutral zone
Yeah.
play. You couldn't replicate the
you can't change the entire
net play.
You would have to somehow bring those boards in too, so you could understand how the whole ice will feel.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Or is it going to be just these Italians going, you deal with it. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, we're going to practice on this ice. And then, okay, we're on this new ice. And then the other rink that they have, because there's 2 rinks.
Yeah.
Now, it's more smaller games are played on the other rink.
Yeah.
But what's those dimensions going to be?
Have they knocked over Rexall yet? Let's just bring the boards in a little bit, rebuild that rink, and do some practicing.
That still irks me, man. That's still a sore spot.
That
for
they're
me.
closing Rexall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why from like a purely like legal agreement side of things, but it's
What's
to me
the
it's
legal
such
side of it?
The legal side of it
The
is
city and
the agreement between Daryl and the city.
Yeah, the events have to pretty much go through Rogers, not Rexall. Rexall was able to operate a little bit afterwards.
yeah, but why couldn't they have made that into a multi-arena or
It wasn't
multi-complex?
financially viable
That one.
as much as I would have liked it.
Because the
Yeah.
kids can buy the land and build an apartment building instead.
Well, he's not doing that. The city's doing that now. And the province is jumping in with some cash, I believe, on that
Yeah.
one. But
And then
It's just such a
they hire
historic
one
place,
properties.
right? Like you go into that building, you still hear, we want the cup in that building, right? Like there's echoes in that building that just don't leave.
Yeah.
it's one, you're like, it would have been cool if it could have been done where you could have put 6 sheets of ice in there somehow.
Yeah.
Really solved a good chunk of the need of ice in our city, or helped get closer to solving it type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just couldn't. It wasn't going to fly, but it's a shame.
Yeah. Do you think the players miss walking through a bar to have to get to
Not
their
a chance.
dressing room?
Not a chance.
That was like one of the most unique setups in the history of hockey.
It was wild. Like
It was crazy,
because I
yeah.
was covering the team then through that, and I was going to games much more than I do nowadays during the Decade of Darkness. And it'd be one like you as media, you'd stand outside just a little off to get into the room for interviews afterwards. And in the Decade of Darkness, especially late in some of those seasons, the booing that they would get.
What about when it was half Leafs fans?
Oh, it was. Yeah, that wasn't a.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. That's probably the best way to have put that.
Yeah.
They should have built a glass at some point with a door that, like, okay, when the player like they pulled the rope
Right.
afterwards, they should have just had like doors that open and you could come through. But then the moment like they would have put the doors or the ropes out, they closed the doors and you can't get through and you had to wait and put glass there or something. But
I'm picturing like a high security facility where the steel doors just start bang. And they roll down.
but it's because there's a lot of teams that have now opened up things where you kind of go through bars like the Oilers do now, where they're behind glass.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what you could have tried to done there or something. I don't know.
But that's still that building is magic for a lot of us that grew up through that time
there's
period,
no doubt.
right?
It's
Like,
the home of 5 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
I played a couple
had-
rec hockey games there and got to actually be in the Oilers' old dressing room. Like it felt
It had great
really
acoustics.
Yeah.
just for so not even just for concerts though, but for Oiler games, keeping that sound in. Like that's the one thing Rogers Place doesn't hold the sound as well, and because of just the way it's designed and so big and all that. And Rexall just kept that in. That 06 was just this beast of noise, because just how it was built.
Well, Rogers is designed for concerts and music. It's not designed for hockey.
It's an entertainment facility,
designed for hockey.
But it's more vertical, right?
The
bowl in the old one was more conical, right? And this one is like the second deck is almost above.
It's steep. And then they added more seats underneath.
And when you're in that old Oilers dressing room,
it's not that difference though, right?
No, I think it's less.
6,839 for Rexall. This place is 18,350 something or something like that.
Why did I have a thought in my head it was less? With being in that Oilers dressing room, man, you can hear every creak and crack that goes on. So I can imagine being a player in that dressing room with 16,000+ people screaming their heads off, stomping. You'd feel that energy, literally feel that energy in that dressing room versus, the soundproofing that goes on now.
I won't argue that they needed a new rink, right? Like it's been a big, it's done a lot to rejuvenate the core in a lot of ways. Not all of them good, but mostly by and large good. But that facility still, it still needs its, sort of like magic touch yet.
Rogers?
Yeah.
I feel if there's one thing that disappointed me about it and it's still not fixed, is there's too many bare walls.
Yeah, it's kind of library-ish. It's just very white. And
I feel like on a lot of you could paint things or put up get William Huff and post stuff all over the place.
I like that Rexall.
That'd be the one thing I would change.
Picture of the Rolling Stones and a picture of Cher on the wall outside of the bathroom.
They have those, but they're in the bowels.
Right.
They're in where the
people don't see that as
absolutely.
Much.
It's where no one sees it outside
of
the players and the staff and stuff. It's down there. They have and they change those every so often, but they're not on the main concourse or anything like that. It seems too sterile.
Yeah. Yep.
And it doesn't feel like that home yet, or it's like they haven't moved everything in yet.
It's been 10 years. That's crazy.
That's the weird part. I was about to say it's been 10 years since Rogers Place has opened. This is season 10, I think.
Which also means it's been 10 years since we had McDavid.
11. Because he was the year prior.
Yeah.
I know. It's just flying by. But yeah, this is the 10th season, right?
Any hot takes about
16, 17,
that?
17, 18, 18, 19, 19,
I have
20,
lots of hot
20,
takes.
21,
Not all of them that I want to talk
23,
about.
Just for AJ Greer?
25.
No,
this is ninth season.
We're not doing that today. No. That one's off limits. Sorry.
All right.
Fair. But yeah, it's just
I
wild
recognize
that
your face somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But Tommy keeps saying that the scoreboard's due soon.
Yeah.
It's reaching its life capacity at some point. We're probably only about 5 or 6 years away from the talk of the first little renovations that are going to take place.
It's already happening.
Okay, and that's just, it's weird to me because it's like I still call it the new rink. And it's not.
There's a company, Icon, and they kind of they look after the major arenas and they look after Rogers as well. They're a customer of mine based on the industry that I'm in. And being in the electrical industry, I know that they are doing upgrades. Like they're expanding the basket tray to be able to put these new broadcasting cables that the NHL have mandated, and bigger cabling, more weight, that sort of thing is all not something that was built for 10 years ago. The craziest thing about that whole deal, I think, is the relationship Cates has had with the city and the arena over that 10 years. He's sued the general contractor and the subcontractors dozens of times. He's sued, for negligence in the build based on what he felt should have been, what have you. And part of that whole deal is that, he paid for whatever he paid for, but after 25 years, the city takes that building over 100%.
Is that what the deal is?
Yeah. So they're at 10 years. And apparently, according to some people that I call on in my real job, Cates has not put a penny into that building, nor will he, nor does he want to, because in 15 years, if it's in a shambles, he hands it back to the city.
I believe he's not supposed to, though.
Why?
I thought the deal was that they operate it, but the city pays for any renovations. Oh. I thought that was in the deal.
Must be a sweet gig.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and relook, but I thought it was like Cates and the OEG, they pay the city put the upfront. OEG pays over 25 years, or whatever is their portion of it. But the city's in charge of all upgrades that they have to put it all. Oilers run it all though still, and get a bunch of revenue. But then, like I didn't.
I think the budget does come from the city if they want to do that. But
I
not like-
I thought part of the agreement, and that was the one part of the agreement I never agreed with, was that Kate's never had to put money into fixing it. It was always going to be on the city. It was never going to be on them.
crappy deal for the taxpayers.
But it is like there are. It's both sides of all of this.
There's a benefit. I'm not.
Well, I know, but
get
there's
it.
multiple towers that have been built downtown, but it hasn't
That Kate's
rejuvenated
built.
downtown. No, I'm in a building that wouldn't have been there. I don't believe if it wasn't for the rink.
Was that a new building?
I moved in 9 years ago. It was brand new built.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that the developer would
What's your
have
address,
ever,
Matthew? Just kidding.
I don't think a developer would have ever designed that one because the agreement hadn't officially been done when they sold it, but it was close. And then the thing was going. I don't know if the developer would have ever thought of doing that if that wasn't being built. And there's been a number of buildings built there. J-Dub wouldn't have come out of it, which was our first downtown hotel since the 80s or something like that. But there also hasn't fully revitalized downtown like it should have.
Well,
And now COVID didn't help it either.
COVID happened,
yeah.
and then the I guess realization of remote work for a lot of people
Changed a lot.
Yeah, it changed the dynamic of downtown. It's not a bad thing in terms of because that core was awful to get in and out of. It still is.
Yeah, I had to quickly do a quick drive yesterday, and I realized I did it at the worst time because it was people going to Chappelle.
No.
I was like, crap, this sucks. And I'm not used to it.
I just really wanted to go to that show now after hearing everything I did this morning. I'm glad I didn't.
Apparently, the show itself was really good. It was
Yeah,
just
except for the fans.
It was
Yeah.
the behavior of the fans that was not good.
Also, is this common for comedy shows? But apparently he was only going to do like a 45-minute set.
In a stadium? That
I was
seems short,
surprised that was that short. For a guy
Apparently
like
people
Dave
couldn't
Schindler.
hear in certain sections.
I heard in the last 10, 15 minutes or so it got bad. And partly some people in the lower bowls on the floor struggled hearing. Upper bowl could hear.
Right.
It
So the
also
sound
apparently
wasn't
was
very-
hotter than Hades in there. Like,
Oh, yeah?
It was. I heard that it was like 30 degrees in that building.
Jeez, it's always freezing cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
I didn't
don't
think
know
they
if
can
that's
control
actual-
the temperature to that degree,
mean,
to be
you know.
honest.
Maybe Chappelle was outside and was like, "This is cold. You better be warm in there." And they cranked up the heat for him.
Maybe. Or those air handling
But
units on the roof
even in
blew
the
up
days of
again.
George Carlin, right? Like those were 60-minute sets.
Were they?
Yeah. Like that's,
I guess if you have an
58
opener or
58
whatever,
minutes.
it's still a
Yeah,
2-hour show.
It
and-
is still a 2-hour show. But
Yeah, fair.
But even still, a lot of those guys
Yeah,
actually.
that's fair.
They don't usually rock openers, right? Or sometimes they do. Sometimes.
I haven't seen a lot of stadium comedy. I think I went to Larry the Cable Guy and
Yeah.
a couple ones, but yeah.
Even George Carlin was at the Jube, right?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't that?
Yeah.
And I would call George Carlin a big name.
Oh, one of the ghosts.
Just kind of.
Yeah.
Just a
One of the
little bit of a big name.
Seriously, one of the best shows I've ever been to.
Is that
It's
right? Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah. Dad loved him.
Yeah. I remember that.
I need to go to more comedy shows. Actually, Jimmy Carr is coming again, but he's doing like a 38 or 41 city Canadian tour.
Oh, wow.
I thought he was bigger than that. Oh, he is, but like Jimmy Carr is going to like Grand Prairie.
I was going to say, when you're at 38, you're going to, yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what is this? So, okay.
Gonna go to a small bar and
Thunder Bay. You're going to the Paw in Manitoba.
Those might be the spots to go see him. I don't know where he's coming here, but I'd rather go see him, in other spots.
Don't go to the Paw.
Aiden says was lower bowl last night. Could hear no problem. So yeah, I
is that-
don't know the full details.
I've only heard. I don't know.
Calgary also apparently had some issues a couple nights ago. So who knows?
I got to love that he counted down his last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, is that him saying?
Yeah,
I'm
this-
almost done. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently he said
He
near
said
the
you're
end.
one of the worst crowds I've ever,
Did he?
I've ever performed for. And then counted down his last 10 minutes. 8, 7.
Apparently he said he's going to be back in 8 months though, or something.
We'll see how that goes.
So, but January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's August. But yeah. That's what he said. He made a comment that I saw going something. He said something about I'll be back in 8 months or something, but
Come to Commonwealth.
we'll see.
Just kidding.
That's a tough one to do, I think, for a comedian. I saw a Netflix special, Gabriel Iglesias. He did Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you see comedians do stadiums. That just feels like you'd have to be real special to get those ones.
Good point by Cash on the
Fluffy,
nasty chat.
right? Like,
Fluffy's great.
Good point by Cash on the nasty chat. Not that we need to bring this back to hockey, but
No, well, we do because I want to get to something else that you had.
if it was hotter than heck in there last night, how's the ice going to be tonight?
that was the first thing I thought of when I heard there was complaints about the temperature in there. I'm like, well, they've got a snow cone maker underneath that. Not that the Oilers haven't fought the puck at all this year or anything.
No, never.
They went on that Eastern road trip, man, and I'm pretty sure that every single one of those sheets of ice was made of snow and rubber bands.
Well, and also Rogers has been busy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, because there was Chappelle yesterday, Oilers Tuesday, MGK on Monday.
Yeah.
Oil Kings played on Sunday. Papa Roach was on Saturday. I feel like there was something on Friday.
Yeah.
Damn, what was it? So it's been pretty full and pretty busy, and that always will have its impacts too.
I remember going back to Rexall for a second. The one thing that you could say about Rexall is that place had the best ice in the league. Mm-hmm. And it was widely regarded to have the best ice in the league.
Until the final 5 years or something, because they stopped putting money into the ice machine because they're also trying to get a new rink and stuff like that. But yes, it wasn't even. It was.
And I have to say, I don't know if they've used a more eco-friendly ice plant in this current building, but the ice has never at any point appeared to be as good as it was.
Well, I think this might be part of it. Speaking of, conversions and all that stuff. For us in the press box, the AC shoots right on us and it's cranked up because apparently one of the things was they didn't take into account Ford Hall and the humidity that will come into there for the ice. Yeah. And so I think when they focused on, this is what we're going to do, but they forgot that there's this extra extension there and they screwed that up. So now they have to crank the AC to try to keep it cooler. And that was a mess up from the start of Rogers Place.
I saw it on the first bowl drink rail earlier in the season, and the AC coming through that, it's like a wind tunnel in there, man. And, you would think that a rink like that wouldn't be cold, but I was cold by the end of that game.
Hlinka Gretzky, the first time it was here, 1260, we're on location. Yeah. And by we, I mean Dave Jamieson and Lowtide and Gregor. Yeah. And Lowtide and JMO were freezing. I remember JMO called Gregor and was like, bring a toque, bring gloves in this middle of August. And you're going to be freezing cold here. And they had to bundle up completely because
it wasn't it wasn't just one period. It was, but by the time we got through halfway of that game, I was sitting there with Mom and it was just this constant breeze of
it depends where you sit.
-2, right?
We changed season seats one time because we were literally in a draft zone from my wife would just sit there and shiver because she thought she was in a windstorm the entire time.
The seats were fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
It wasn't a sight problem. It was just an airflow HVAC thing, right?
And again, media, no one cares, but it's. You bundle up. I'll wear gloves throughout the game up in the press box because it's in second period you could just be they turned it on. It's cold and it's freezing up there. That Stoff and Moon,
hot air rises.
Stoff and Moon have a heater that they brought in. Reed used to have one when he was doing it with Ched in his own room. They had a heater in there. A lot of the crews have heaters just going because it gets cold. Thanks, Caster. I was Tea Party on Friday. So Tea Party. Papa Roach, Oil Kings, MGK, Oilers, Chappelle, Oilers. 7 straight days at the very least. I don't know if anything's happening.
Yeah, the ice will be wonderful tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts. We got Kevin McCurdy, Dash in the Park, Matt Iwanyk with you here on the Hangout. Portions of this hour of the Hangout brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. Aidan O'Neill also did mention that Great Outdoors Comedy Festival in July for Chappelle, but I thought they announced most of those shows. That's why I didn't say that one. And the math does say August, but maybe he got his math wrong. But I was thinking maybe it'd also be Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, but good point by you there, Aidan. Want to get back to Oilers and Kraken. GCLT's Ulstrom pre- and post-game shows tonight. Tommy will get you set for that game. There was Kevin said something a little earlier, which kind of led into something that you could have talked about but then we didn't do it. We kept talking about other things.
You noticed, eh? You're such a pro, Matthew.
Well,
You're
your
such a
arm,
pro.
your fingers went like this. It was hard not to notice. You wanted to talk a little bit about McDavid and the idea of maybe he's bobbling the puck, or is that a good TN?
My good friend Kevin McCurdy here to my left has mentioned it, I think, several times on air that I've heard recently, that there's, and I think we all see it. Feel free to disagree in the nasty chat if you like, but I've noticed too, you're not wrong. It seems like Connor's bobbling the puck more, or that there's just something a little bit off.
Can I pause you just for
Yeah,
one
I was
sec?
hoping you would. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it really interesting that he switched sticks mid-game the other day. Like he was rocking the Bauer Vapor.
Went back to a CCM.
As a CCM guy,
Yeah.
rocking a Bauer Vapor for the first 2 periods, and then went back to the CCM stick.
Is it actually a Bauer stick?
It was a Bauer stick.
Tommy and Belzy were saying the other day that guys actually will get their sticks wrapped.
Oh yeah.
It's a thing in golf too. They play certain clubs, but it's not really the club. It's
Put a
different.
tailor-made sticker on a ping club so that they...
Or an old TaylorMade, and it's the new version.
Yeah, but you
looks like.
would think that they would, for something like that, they would have, if it was actually a Bauer stick, they would have wrapped it if it was, against his agreement. So I don't know what's going
point.
on with his
Good point.
his arrangement with CCM, or with,
They're the
because
same
Austin
company.
Matthews is doing, he just switched back to all Bauer.
Are Bauer
think-
CCM
From
the same
what?
company?
I think he was a CCM guy as well.
Maybe if they're not the same company, maybe they know something that we don't, and there's a buyout coming. Somebody's buying somebody.
Why do I feel like they're the same company? Maybe I'm wrong, but
Are Bauer and
Bauer and
CCM
CCM? I don't know.
company? I don't think
that's
so.
what my brain
I don't
defaulted
think
to.
so. I mean, there's
CC
only like 3 companies in the field now, anyways, or 4. Like,
yeah. Jamie, pull that up.
CCM is owned by Alter Equity Partners.
no
Bauer.
surprises here.
Hockey is owned by. It looks like it's a different Peak Achievement Athletics. I'm gonna say maybe they're onto something. Maybe there's a buyout coming. They're the first ones to know.
Either there's a buyout coming,
Insider trading coming.
insider trading.
Well done. I see what you did there.
Baptized Big U. 100% Connor's been losing pucks much more this season than ever.
All right. So I couldn't sleep. It was like 3 a.m. I was, maybe doing a little bit of cramming or studying for the show, and I was listening to Kevin McCurdy on Low Tide show from Wednesday, and I think for the second or maybe even the third straight week, you've brought up the bobbling of the puck of Connor McDavid. Uke agrees with you. I agree with you. I think it's there. So I don't admit to using AI all that often, but I'll do it for this sake because I think it's easier to tell the story. So as I woke up at 3 or 4 this morning, I decided to ask, and now our company uses a pretty expensive form of AI that can dive pretty deep and do well. So I had this question for AI and asked it, is there anything legitimately or statistically out there that could prove or show that Connor McDavid is past prime, past peak, or losing a step? And it came back with some answer, in which case, of course, with AI, you've got to start guiding it. So then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, what's the way to figure out if you've lost a step? Okay, well, let's look at the Edge jersey tracking system that, has the speed, and maybe his number of speed bursts is slower, or is his speed entering the zone is slower, or on the flip side of the Edge stuff, maybe I could look at giveaways. Is there more baubles on zone entries where there's statistics to show that sort of thing? And what it actually came up with was shocking. It was quite the contrary. So not only is Connor McDavid not losing a step, he's gained a step. So his previous personal best speed up until this season was 24.16 miles per hour. This year he had a personal best of 24.61 miles per hour. That jersey tracking system that Edge has calculates different things, and one of them it can calculate is sort of like the peak speed that players will start to give the puck up or bobble the puck, if you will, where giveaways start to happen. And so basically what it says is that's the fastest speed recorded for him. It's the fastest speed recorded in the league this season. It's one of the fastest measurements in the modern tracking era. It's not the fastest. Any guesses on who you think has hit the fastest speed record in the NHL?
I thought I just saw this recently, like a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot.
New Jersey player. I'm not sure where he is now, to be honest. Miles Wood.
Interesting. I know Janmark really stepped up on that chart last year at one point. He had that one zone pierce that he did that he got up to the high 20s.
Yeah.
Or like mid 20s, I guess.
Get there when you get there.
Well, he was ripping it. I don't just to be clear, I don't think Connor McDavid has lost a step. It's not about steps.
Right. Let me get to that. Yeah. So here's what the consequences become. Because it can sort of track like what the it speaks to like puck handling biometrics. Yeah. So on average, most NHLers will, I'm going to use the word bobble because it's not like it says bobble in the website, but start to bobble the puck generally at anywhere from 18 to 20 miles per hour. Connor McDavid is alien-like in the fact that he generally can handle the puck very smoothly into 21 to 22 to 23 even miles per hour. The fact that he's hitting 24, 25 miles per hour this year sort of leans to the fact, and the statistics on this website show it, that I think he's pushing the limits of physics. And ultimately at that speed, the puck is going to bounce more. Any amount of like little bit of imperfection in the ice is, think of stick handling a golf ball on the concrete, right? If you're going faster you go, the more the imperfection of the bounce. So I wrote down here, not because his touch is worse, it's not because his hands have aged. It's because the surface area contact between the blade and the puck becomes so small, and that the time of contact becomes so short that even the slightest imperfection on the ice or the smallest vibration or the tiniest microscopic ridge will send the puck hopping. So it's not that he's lost a step, it's that he's gained a step, and that he's playing in a manner that has never been played before and pushing the boundaries of physics.
I can accept that to an extent, but a lot of the bobbles, the ones that I see are the ones on button hooks, the ones on in-zone play where he's not ripping 24.5 miles an hour, right? Like,
now, do you think that's a system thing back to Knobloch because they don't want him?
I mean, system doesn't account for personal skill, right?
But it does if your system is to go in east-west instead of north-south.
But teams are defending him too.
Yes, they're doubling up on Connor. There's no doubt. Yeah.
The thing that has really become apparent is that the skill jump in teams is noticeable. Mm-hmm. Right? Like the skill jump amongst the new generation of players, this Macklin Celebrinis, the Bedards, whatever, the year-over-year skill injection into the league is like precipitously going up. We're at the highest skill level this sport has ever seen. Yeah. And it's only getting tighter, it's only getting faster. Like the gear and the training and this generation of kids was born into playing hockey in a lot of cases, right? Like that's all they know is playing hockey.
Yeah. And generational player every 2 years now.
But that's just it, right? Like you look at Bedard and his, I don't know his story particularly well, but from what I do know of it, it was hockey and that was it. Right?
Yeah, apparently he's never eaten fast food. Apparently he's
he's missing out.
That stuff, I as much as that, I don't really think that affects him as a hockey player as much as, going to every type of training and nutrition and everything in their life is tailored to playing hockey.
And he broke his hand and he still took 200 shots.
That's what I mean,
untouched,
right? Yeah.
Right? Like it's, when you have those debates of could players play in different eras, you have to add in like what would have Gretzky been in this era where he would have gotten sports science, the nutrition, all of that. What could have Gretzky done in this era?
Peak age then was 27 to 30, right? Now we're seeing like McDavid's 28, and we're seeing that he's getting better. Look at McKinnon. McKinnon's a better player than he's ever been.
McKinnon, like in my view, McKinnon is the best player in the world
right now. Absolutely.
Right now, right this.
It doesn't make him the greatest player or the most talented, but there are times where just
nobody's playing he's
playing
at a better
his best hockey right now
ever. Yeah,
that team is scary, man. That like If you wanted me to pick two
Best.
teams, you wanted me to pick two teams. I think it's Colorado in the West and probably, and it's definitely not Florida in the East right now, but there's definitely other teams that. Who do you pick out of the East? If you're picking the Stanley Cup final today and you get to pick, who's the Stanley Cup final?
Matthew, you love predictions.
That's a tough one. The one thing I have will go against the Avs is as good as their goaltending has been this year, I'm not sold that they're going to get it done in the playoffs. But if I had to make a prediction, it's hard to go against. Like, they might beat the Bruins record for a regular season, although we know what happened to the Bruins after that.
Yeah, you need
sure,
adversity in a season. Not that Colorado
The flip
has
side, who
adversity.
would be the favorite right now in the East?
I don't know. Like,
Part of it does go
Tampa?
to. Well, they have that experience to go do it.
And Vasilevsky's having a year. They still have Cooper.
The one I want to go with, I just want to see where they are.
I'm going to say Dallas, Tampa.
No, to me, it's Carolina.
Is that?
And one of the reasons is I think, actually right now,
Well,
that
they're
changes.
excellent
I
in
was gonna
conference
say-
finals. So
I was going to say just the Metro's not as strong, but when I look at the Atlantic, it's not the historic Tampa, Boston, Toronto that you're looking at. It's Montreal, Ottawa right now, which I think Tampa could, the experience of the playoffs, do away with some of those teams.
I think Montreal's still too young. Ottawa's still too young.
Like the NFL, it's so wide open.
Carolina's Carolina.
What are the odds?
Florida, maybe it's Florida again. Like they'll have Kachuk back.
What I wanted to say, though, is are we saying the Oilers are sitting in a playoff spot? And are we saying Florida's in the playoff spot? Because that, to me, changes the equation completely.
Yeah.
Like, I still would put the Oilers as a team.
You'd still take the Oilers over Dallas or Colorado?
I would put them in a
conference finals this
team
year?
that's in the conversation. If I had to take a tier of like 2 or 3 teams, I would still probably put the Oilers in there because they have that experience of getting it done in the playoffs.
yeah.
And we've seen that.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
I wouldn't take them as number one,
Okay. Yeah.
but they would be 2 or 3 possibly still
That's
to me.
fair.
And Florida's the same thing, that if they're in the playoffs, they would be one of those teams that have to be like
They have to
the
be, yeah.
3 teams I would mention would have to have Florida. But the question is, are they going to be there? Can they turn this around? Kachuk's coming back. That's good. Barkov, though, is not.
Yeah. Did they Seltzer him yet? Did they put him on the season ending, or is he
I don't
still
think
in?
so. I think they're hoping for
Yeah.
he could come back for playoffs, which then impacts, though, what they could do at the deadline.
Yeah.
And-
It's like cap hit is like
It has
like
to
a
be.
third or something like that. It's way less.
Is
What?
this true, Rip City?
What?
Macklin Celebrini's dad was the director of sports medicine and performance for the Golden State Warriors.
Wouldn't shock me.
No, there you go. He probably hasn't eaten McDonald's either.
So Stanley Cup. Okay, Play Alberta. Now this is also where sometimes money's going. Stanley Cup winner. The Avs are the favorite on Play Alberta. Who do you think's number 2?
In the West or for the whole league?
Stanley Cup.
Dallas.
Do you have a prediction? Dallas is
It's not
1,
the Oilers
2.
right now.
It is the Oilers.
Is it really?
It is the Oilers.
Wow.
The Oilers, according to Play Alberta, are the second best favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Now,
Don't take that bet.
Play Alberta, so there's different, there's also a little extra money that gets
Well,
thrown on the Oilers, so
betting
that changes it.
favorites and-
But it goes Avs, Oilers, Hurricanes, Panthers are number 4. Lightning, Knights, Stars, Devils. Those
That's
are the top.
betting favorites.
Absolutely. 100%. So,
betting
and that
favorites.
changes where money's
In Play
going.
Alberta.
Okay, would you like me to go look at a different? Let's see what
Yes.
more Vegas has.
Yes,
Okay, I'll go look at a different one.
Thank you. I know Play Alberta's the sponsor. I
Yeah,
understand.
I'll go look at
but
one
let's
from.
be
I'll look at this one.
less regionally.
I won't say who it
biased.
is, but okay, this is who I'm going to look at.
Okay. Yeah. No free plugs.
Futures. Let's see. There are no futures right now. Why are there no futures right now?
I have that app. I can look.
Okay, I'm going to a different one.
Oh no, I deleted that app when I go my Play Alberta one.
Okay, I'm going to go to this site.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's go to NHL. Let's go futures. Accept. Stanley Cup. It's Avs, Hurricanes, Panthers are 3, Vegas, Lightning, Oilers.
That
Oilers
makes
are
more
still
sense.
right
but
near
that's
there.
not second. That's a big difference. 8th
Absolutely,
to
but the
second.
Panthers are 3rd. They're higher.
That's what I just
Panthers are
said.
dead last
Absolutely.
right now.
And they're 3rd on this one.
They'll make the playoffs. Kachuk will be back.
Yeah.
Will
But
they
is-
make the playoffs?
But is Kachuk really? Does he bend the narrative beside being a pain in the ass?
Absolutely.
Does he bend the narrative?
He
for that
drives
team?
passion for that team. He drags them into the fight. Absolutely. You get your best player is also your toughest player and the guy that's going to...
Look, I respect the hell out of Florida. Like, the brand of hockey that they play is maybe not my favorite.
Yeah.
But you have to give them kudos for what they've done. Like, you don't back-to-back in this league. And, you know...
With 3 straight appearances.
Yeah, and 3 straight appearances. That's crazy. Like, that's a testament to...
The President's Trophy 2 years before that.
That's a testament to Paul Maurice's coaching ability. That's a testament to the system that they've bought into.
Yeah.
And it's a champion mentality, right? Like, it's really that simple for them. They are a good hockey team that plays a strangling type of hockey that is very frustrating and physically demanding to play against.
Completely agree. Can I call you out on some hypocrisy?
The Oilers playoffs? I'll go to that right. It's 6 points back of the Penguins. They have to jump every single team, though, in the East to get there. It's not just 6 back. It's also having to pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 teams in the process. What's my hypocrisy about the Oilers?
I've heard you on and on and on, week after week after week, saying, "Oh, you're going to make playoffs."
They are going to make the playoffs.
How can you say that the Oilers are a guaranteed lock to make the playoffs, but the Florida Panthers aren't?
Because the Florida Panthers are sitting last. The Florida Panthers have to jump everyone. The Edmonton Oilers...
The Oilers have managed to earn enough points.
Yes.
Despite their...
How many games ago were the Oilers last in the West?
Oh, were they?
I thought they had fallen to second last or last in the West like 2-3 weeks
so.
ago.
They were last in the West in or second last in the West in wins in regulation. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Because like they're still 5 points up on Nashville and Calgary for the bottom. I don't think they would have dropped.
What place
they
are they in the
those.
West right now?
So they are sitting in the 4th spot out of the way of playoffs.
And I believe they were, let's call it even 3rd or 4th last a few weeks ago. They went from 4th last to 4th in weeks.
The Oilers win tonight. The San Jose Sharks hold the last wild card spot, 28 games, 29 points. The Oilers win tonight. The Oilers have 28 games, 29 points. They will be tied with the Sharks for a playoff spot. Now, the Kraken do have games in hand on the Oilers. They have 28 points in 24 games.
The Kraken, though, and that team is not.
The Chicago Blackhawks 26-28, Winnipeg 26-27, Utah 28-29. Utah's wild card, San Jose's wild card. Those are the other 3 teams there. Utah, we've seen from the start of this year, they weren't as good as that start. They've faltered. I'm not sold on San Jose and Chicago holding on for an entire season like this. And I don't believe in Seattle as well. So right there, even the teams that the Oilers have to jump, it's not big. The other part to this too is, again, the Oilers win tonight and they have the exact same amount of points and the exact same amount of games played as Utah and San Jose for a playoff spot. Unlike Florida, if they win one more game, they're still at least 4 points back of a playoff spot. And the Oilers are a January team. Their record in January is ridiculous. And for the last 3 seasons. That's why it is different. I am still very confident of the Oilers making the playoffs and still going to now start. I'm just starting to have the questions of, will the Panthers make it? The Oilers, you want to know something? They lose the first 2 games of January. I'll jump, and then I'll start the panic. Then the panic meter will start coming. Right now, still not worried. Not worried at all. Win tonight, they're in the playoffs. Like, I don't know how the rest of the schedule looks tonight, so I don't know how that would impact it. But they might be in a playoff spot at the end of tonight.
January looks good for them. February schedule looks good for them.
Because they don't play in February.
It's
the Olympic break.
The only thing that really concerns me is coming out of the Olympic break.
That's what you took it off the tip of my tongue.
This
Absolutely.
team is historically dog water coming out of breaks.
What is their schedule after the Olympics?
So that's no slight. Like, that's just the observation. I don't want to seem like I'm always bashing them, right? Like, this is a competent hockey team, and even in this current iteration of it, where it's kind of unknown, this isn't the same team of the last 2 years.
No, this isn't yesteryear's team.
This is a different team. They don't have the same capability, and we just have to learn to observe the new capability and accept it for what it is. Because there are things that, like, to an extent, I don't agree with, necessarily making trades or making moves for the sake of making moves. They need to make the right moves, and if this season doesn't really
it's okay
shape up to be something that they can make a deep run on, I would much rather give them a year to reset and take back at it when a non-Olympic year.
That's right.
When they're fully rested and they haven't played 2 seasons in a row with
Yeah.
like less than 60 days of rest between end of season, start of next season.
Non-Olympic year, also the cap space is summer that's coming.
It's like 18 mil.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's that to me is when they should focus on the goalie. Like as much as people want it now,
Don't make a move. Don't burn the assets for
Just to try to save this season.
Just to try and save the season.
Yeah,
like
that-
I know that's probably not acceptable to like Connor and Leon and really anybody in the team. But as an observer, tempering my expectations has made it a whole lot more fun to watch the team this year.
Yeah.
allow this year to be a potential dip.
Yeah.
If
exactly.
the next 2 years, like those are the cup
the window's
years.
not closed by any means.
It's next year and the year after. Those have to be cup years and
Exactly.
hold off on things after the break. It's an interesting one after the break. They head out west. They get Anaheim, LA back to back Wednesday, Thursday, and then the Sharks on the Saturday. So depending where the Sharks still are, huge divisional games right when they come out of the Olympic break.
Does anybody find it interesting that Anaheim is rocking one of the best offensive structures in the league right now? Amazing coincidence, right?
Are you hinting sarcastically at the coaching?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like he could have ended up in Edmonton.
I'm glad he didn't.
I'm never going to not be sour about that.
No.
I'm never going to not be sour.
I was here in the beginning of the year and I predicted it would happen. I'm wrong, but
I'm never going to not be sour about firing Woodcroft. I think that was a mistake then.
Yeah.
I still think it's a mistake now.
Do you?
Yeah.
It
Woodcroft
did seem like the players weren't.
they quit on him. There's
They
no
weren't
doubt.
happy with him.
Yeah.
He was too intense with them. There was no break for them. No time to breathe.
Woodcroft was too intense.
Yeah,
Pardon
I
me.
know.
Double
There was-
back on that.
There was no like in the locker room like a
Comparatively
break,
to
a chance
Knobloch.
to catch a breath.
Yeah.
It was always like, here's an iPad. Oh, pick this.
Really?
and yeah.
Oh, I thought it was more about accountability, like just being able to not.
I liked Woodcroft's fire as a coach. And there's a case to be made that the opposite with Knobloch, where there's video evidence to prove that he's not always that chill,
Yeah.
right? Like
They needed that after Woodcroft. They needed for that
needed
season
that
to
steady-
calm them down.
Yeah.
To get them through that first Stanley Cup run, to learn how to go. They needed that calming presence.
Yeah,
There are times I think most people would wish that maybe Chris Knobloch would show a bit more.
yeah. But that again, that's an on-ice thing, right? Like he is cool and collected behind the bench. I think I've seen him lose his temper once at a bad penalty call, and that's not. I'm not saying that bad penalty calls are the metric that we should be judging coaches by, how they react to them, right? But as far as Chris Knobloch goes, he's generally always chill and observing on the bench. I've seen him not chill less than a handful of times.
Yeah.
And Knobloch was a little bit, Woodcroft was the opposite of that. It's just that overall, I preferred the run and gun attitude of the Woodcroft era. As an observer, it was more exciting hockey, right? Like they outscored,
from an entertainment perspective.
They outscored their mistakes, and they could also find 5 different ways to win hockey games, right?
I miss those days. How are the Oilers going to come back tonight?
Yeah, and it wasn't just it wasn't just an if, it was a how.
It used to be like, oh, they're down in games, we're going to win this for sure. Now it's, oh, we're up in games, we're going to lose this for sure.
I to a degree, I still like, at least like last year in the playoffs, I always felt that.
Yeah.
Like that first game against LA. Once they got a couple, you're like, hey, the Oilers are doing something, and then unfortunately didn't take that victory. I wonder what would have happened if they had won that game.
I think it's a delicate balance with Knobloch. Ultimately, the one side of it is that your team ends up taking on the personality of the coach. But
maybe that's where it worked, and maybe there was an issue between the two of them or whatever. But Paul Coffey wasn't. It was a little.
He had the fire.
He was a shaker,
right?
He was a shaker,
and maybe that you need just that guy on the bench that could take it from the coach.
That's
like, okay, if the head coach is going to do it, this guy will do it. And you just need that presence on the bench.
Yeah, if you got
do you see that right now?
If you got 4 guys that are
all the
ice
same.
cold,
that's right.
And that's not to say that they're bad. They're just they're just cool and methodical dudes, all of them.
It's nice not to have just the same across it. You want different things who can
There's a balance, though.
like whatever weakness one person has, you hope the other person has. That's their strength type thing. Well, and I'm not going to. I don't want to say that there's a weakness, but if Knobloch doesn't have that fire, it's nice if someone does though. So that when it's needed, that person could go do that. And then when you need that calming presence, you have the guy who has that calming presence though that could just. It's all good guys type.
Corey Perry, Nuge.
Yeah.
right?
If I could go football here, Ricky Ray versus Jason Moss.
Yeah.
Like it was the yin
Perfect
and yang
example.
too.
Absolutely.
It's both. Like Ricky Ray, he could have throwing a touchdown or an interception. You never know what his face looked
That's
like.
right. Yeah.
Jason Moss running down the field, taking his helmet off. You didn't know if he was celebrating a touchdown, if he's going into the ref's face, yelling at him. He's just so fiery. You had both of those.
Really good example.
Maybe that's what you need.
And
agreed. Yeah.
rumor has it too that some of those personalities still exist in the room, even now, but to a lesser extent than maybe before, and that it was necessary to have that cool coaching thing to calm some of that, to chill some of that.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I get the idea that room has a very, very high standard, and sometimes some of the players that we've brought in don't. It's not that they don't do well under standard; they don't do well under the pressure of achieving that standard.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they are capable players that can meet that standard, but it's the mental block of having to live to that all the time. I think that contributes to
That's fair.
some of their struggles.
Yeah, I
If you
agree.
look at Victor Arvidsson, even Connor Brown's first season, right? Like took him 60 games to score. So that's still one of the coolest moments I've ever seen.
The crowd cheering for that.
Like the standing ovation for guy getting his first goal in Oilers colors. Like goes
to show you the respect he earned.
But that moment sold Connor Brown on the Oilers. That second season, that was entirely that moment was what made that second season happen.
I think he always had his intangible benefits in the room.
Yep.
Right. So
I think a bunch of the people that we lost have had intangible benefits in the room.
that's right.
Corey Perry wasn't afraid to call crap out that he didn't
No.
like.
Who's willing to hide in
Kane
a?
right on the bench that one.
That's right. Who's willing to hide in a food cart to jump out and call out the lines? Like that excitement's kind of gone.
Is it though? I'm not.
Well,
in the
it
room.
feels like it, but yeah,
That's always the tough
I'm
thing.
not in the room.
That's
right?
always a tough thing to judge.
But you can see it on the ice. I mean, there's a balance between
I miss
having
the Oilers
passion
having fun.
and then acting like you've been there before.
I miss the Oilers having fun.
Yeah. It looks like
that-
they're not having fun, or it's like, well, then we're not going to have
Because
fun
they've
until the
dropped
playoffs.
I don't want to say it like because to me they didn't, but maybe they failed in the Stanley Cup final.
No, I just think it's
now
like it's hard for them
we
to
gotta
get up for
back
these
there.
games now.
But 82 games plus the Olympics plus 16 plus games of playoffs is a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
And you have to have some fun doing it, or it's going to be real tough to, again, one of the things I enjoyed about the Oilers of the Woodcroft era was that they could pick ways to win games.
Yeah.
If they wanted to bully a team, they could bully a team. If they wanted ground and pound, they could do that. If they wanted to neutral zone transition like excellence, they could do that. If they wanted to say Connor and Leon pick up the thing and just carry the team, they could do that. There was 8 different ways that they could win a hockey game, and this year they can't seem to find a single one of them to do reliably.
This is awful, maybe, so don't get too mad at me. But maybe if they're not going to win the cup this year, maybe one of the best things for them to happen is a first round exit. Just to have a break, be away from hockey.
If it's going to be that,
a little bit longer, because I want
don't make the playoffs.
Even, I think you still want to
No,
make
I need
the
them
playoffs.
to make the playoffs because I'm not losing a bet.
right.
You have a bet on that?
I have a friend of mine bet me a Hondy that they weren't going to make
Once
the playoffs
Perry left.
because Corey Perry left, and they have to make the playoffs because I need my easy money.
Sure.
But
your selfishness wants, but I'm just saying to Maddie's
but even
point.
just getting
don't get to the playoffs.
I think
then.
getting the first round, the young players could get a little experience.
Nah, get 8th last, win the lottery,
You
and
want
get
Matt
McKenna.
Savoy. You want potentially to get a little bit of that playoff experience in them. Then you're out. Like how many fans even this year when preseason was coming were like hockey already? Like I could imagine the players were going, we got to get back to camp already. Like I could have used an extra week or two out on the boat, out on vacation. And maybe just for next year, just come in a little bit more refreshed, excited, ready to go, to have more fun. Maybe that's something that they're going to need. That it's
Man,
not
they barely
maybe it's
got
not
the
worth
beer
it.
prices changed at Rogers between seasons.
By the way, I just saw this from Chris Johnston from earlier today. He said the IHF approved dimensions, they approved this, are 3+ feet shorter and a hair wider than NHL building.
I think they just approved it. Like they found out Then it got submitted, and they like just approved it yesterday or this week.
yes.
Not like they approved it a month ago and then went forward with it.
Because it's 60 meters by 26 meters, which is 196.85 feet by 85.3 feet. So it's a hair wider and 3+ feet shorter.
200 feet isn't 60 meters. 200 feet is like 60.6 meters or something. So it's 60 meters exactly.
Apparently 60 meters by 26 meters. He had that in response to
an NHL rink is 200. So that means it's shorter.
NHL rink dimensions. An NHL rink dimension is 200 feet by 85 feet.
And 200 feet is
So
like
it says it's 0.3 feet wider. What are they going to do with that space? And 3.15 feet shorter. So those are the official numbers.
I don't understand why, like, the conversation of, now Tom Wilson's going to get selected for the team because of the crash and bang and the
Belsey said that yesterday.
But what does that matter in the neutral zone? Like, I think if the defensive zone and the offensive zone are smaller, then that matters because there's more crash and bang and less room. But if the neutral zone's smaller,
Partly Belsey said that yesterday too, though, is when we first didn't know where it was.
Sure,
He
sure,
says
sure,
if it was
sure.
coming in from the outsides, it was narrow.
Right.
It would lead a little more to that as well.
yeah, that's true.
There was another unnamed NHL player that on an ESPN piece for it yesterday said that he doesn't think they'll change. It'll impact the game much.
It won't.
I don't. If it comes out of the neutral zone, I think it'll have extremely negligible effect. It's only if it affects the zone size, just because, like, I know it's controversial, but Evan Bouchard knows where that blue line is down to the millimeter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's better than Keeps than him.
Walking
and
that
maybe
line.
McCarr.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Keeps are his thing.
Yep.
I'll agree with.
So go ahead.
I'll agree with you on the fact that it's negligible.
It's like a basketball player moving the 3-point line. Yeah.
If we don't win the gold, it was that. It's because of that.
That's right.
It was all because they changed the ice.
But you're right, Cab. It's like Steph Curry shooting threes and they move the 3-point line. Like he doesn't need to look down to see where the 3-point line. He just knows where the 3-point line is.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully get the net shift from North America, though, because otherwise there could be problems.
What did you just say? Sorry.
Net shifts.
Hopefully they get the nets shipped from North America.
Wait. Oh, can you imagine? They're like 6.5 feet by 3.5.
Yeah. Goalie's got it.
This is what we do in soccer. What are you talking about? The nets are supposed to be big.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Koskinen's back because the glove hand doesn't matter.
Wow,
It's gonna be
that's
fun
a shot,
hockey.
ain't it?
There's no top corner, you know?
The official drink of the EST Hangout is Finnish Long Drink Legend of 1952, a drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada, where you can enter your postcode and find a liquor store establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock. Just a reminder, coming up in about 15 minutes time, just a little over, we got the lock shop. We got two guys and a goalie today, EST Afternoons, the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. And then, yes, we will have the GCL Diesel Oilstrom pre and post game shows for you tonight as Tommy and Benny will get you set for Oilers and Kraken. You guys are part of Heavy Hockey, heavyhockey.com. You've got an article coming up, which you've talked about a little bit today.
Yeah, just on.
And boy, what else is happening with Heavy Hockey quickly?
Yeah, new articles coming out on heavyhockey.com almost daily. Keep your eye out for some of our epic authors like Eric Friesen and Ryan Lotzberg. Kevin McCurdy got his first article in there a week or two ago. We've started another podcast, which is the Heavy Hockey Podcast, where we sort of just throw the team at you and rotate hosts, whether it's Lotzi or Kevin or myself or Bob the goalie or the fanatic Patrick Phillips, whoever somebody's hosting, and you're going to get a mouthful of all of us. Oilers Live still exists. That's obviously Michael's show. And he'll be continuing on with those, keeping that more of an interview style where he's maybe talking to podcasts from the other teams before games and that sort of thing. And I don't know, maybe some more things to come.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
See where the Oilers take everything.
Yeah. What else is going on with Heavy Hockey, Kevin?
I don't know. I think that covers it. I think we're just trying to nail down the frequency of content a little bit more. We missed last night, so but we're trying to at least nail that weekly cadence and just get some things stabilized, I guess. And last night I don't think there was really a lot to talk about. Like,
I fell asleep on the couch at 7. I woke up to watch the show this morning, and there wasn't one.
Well, it's
Some boss I am. But
this is the last little bit of kind of slow Oiler hockey now for till Christmas, and even Christmas only 3 days, and they're back right at it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a heavy, probably 2 months coming here now. Doesn't probably kind of slow down the Oilers. Again, the 3 days off at Christmas, and that's probably Olympic break.
Yeah.
Because what do they have in January?
it's a pretty smooth schedule.
Calvin Pickard tonight, hey?
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. When did they say that?
30 minutes ago.
Oh, interesting.
So they end the month.
When lines came out yesterday, Skinner was a starter, though, no?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
Interesting.
I considering that Skinner was
just
breaking in pads for the alternates, that's an interesting choice.
Why are they wearing the alternates tonight?
I think next 2 games. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check.
Interesting. Yeah, you never know.
So they play on the 31st, which is a Wednesday, and then they play on the Saturday. So that's their next little. So Christmas time, there's a couple 2-3 day breaks, but beyond that, it's go. From now until February 4th, which is their last game, is they're in Calgary for those Olympic breaks, and then we project only with 3 Oilers probably going.
I mean, but it's a little bit of a slow schedule coming up. I'm surprised Pickard's starting. Honestly, like look at the 2 games Skinner just had.
Well, that's maybe the reason.
What?
He's had 2, so Pickard gets this one.
Yeah,
Skinner's going to go take
3. Hasn't been a crammed schedule.
No, I understand. They don't want to play Skinner 60 games, right?
When did they last play Pickard?
Skinner's played 3 in a row now, I think.
Yeah, so Pickard had his game where he really stepped up after really struggling before that. Like
the Tampa game?
I think so.
And then he did draw into action against Dallas.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a scheduled one. But
No, that was very much an unscheduled.
But I guess if he doesn't play tonight, like when are you going to go to him type thing? And you probably from a starting perspective, it's almost been 2 weeks since it will be 2 weeks.
Pickard saved his job against Tampa,
which was a Thursday
on the
2
20th.
weeks ago.
So they've played Florida, Dallas, Seattle, and Minnesota since I should say.
Yeah, and he came in relief against Dallas.
3 or 4 days in between each start.
But that's I think they're just trying to balance out where, you don't want Pickard also sitting. Like, they're going to need him in this month. They've got 2 back-to-backs on Saturday, Sundays coming up starting next weekend. Maybe don't want him sitting so much.
I guess,
Who are those 2 back to? What do you got for
First one is Toronto, Montreal on the road.
Okay.
And then you got Minnesota, Vegas. In Minnesota, home to Vegas on a Saturday, Sunday.
That's not till
Brutal.
That's not till almost Christmas, though. Like, you're not thinking about Pickard right now.
But you also don't want him sitting too long.
You don't want him on ice too much. Like, it is a tandem at the end of the game. At the end of the day, it is a tandem. It's not a starter backup. It is a 1A, 1B, and the split changes accordingly. They're not going to play Skinner, Vasilevsky numbers, right? Or
I don't know. I don't know if this is the start to do it. I think the way
So then you play him against Winnipeg?
Yeah.
You play Pickard in Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Or against Winnipeg here?
that's probably what I would do too. But
I think you got to give Skinner
it's one of these right now that
that's fine.
I think you have to go with. Otherwise, when it comes to at least starting, it's 2 weeks today.
We talk a lot about accountability on this hockey club, right? Clattenburg comes up, shows passion, energy, scores his first career goal, gets sent down. Like that's a terrible message in my opinion.
Is he
Skinner
Clattenburg? He's still here.
Or not got benched or didn't play that next game or whatever. Didn't he get healthy scratch
after? Wasn't it Philp that was it Philp earlier in the season that was? He scored his goal and he got benched, or
maybe it was that. Maybe perhaps. I'm thinking of the wrong.
That was a terrible
accountability
precedent.
all the same.
That was a terrible precedent to set.
My point is Skinner just had his 2 best games of the season and you get sat for it. I think I'd give him that 3rd start in a row.
The flip side to this, though, is there is something about Hockey Night in Canada, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
and you might be saying, we're giving you Saturday. Like, that's, we're not taking you off on the Hockey Night in Canada.
Winnipeg's an easier start right now.
That's a fair bet, too. Winnipeg is an easier start.
I'd rather play Pickard against the team that's lost 5 of the last 6.
And they'll be coming off. They'll be playing home to Buffalo on Friday and then coming to Edmonton the next day. So they'll be a little bit more of a tired team. But that might be just Hockey Night in Canada. We can give it to you.
Yeah, all fair. I don't know. Maybe there is no right or wrong.
I can appreciate that Buffalo is, Buffalo, but we as an organization historically underestimate the bottom of the NHL.
Yeah.
for years.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally years.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to this leadership core group thing. I think, they play up to levels and play down to levels. They load manage when they can, and easy games
again,
are when you
but
try to load
82
manage.
games is a lot of hockey.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not
it's
criticizing.
Really, it's really hard after, especially with these guys getting up into a decade in the league, to show up.
Yep. With give a crap.
Every single night, especially. Can you imagine you make it to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, and then you get to like game 1 of the next season, you're just like, I don't care about this.
Put me on autopilot. Where's my DeLorean?
The intensity just isn't. Yeah, it's not there.
It's not there. Everything's out of sync because like it's like microsecond levels of synchronicity, right? And everything is just that one step.
It's like driving in off of highway and then you get to the city slow speed limits and you have to brake and you feel like you're going so slow. You're going 70, but you feel like you're going so slow because you're used to the 120.
I'm gonna go 80 through Lloyd.
Yeah, you're still playing in your mind at the pace that you were playing in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, and you're playing with a roster that's
40%
seriously overhauled, and everybody's had a busy summer socially. You had McDavid's wedding the previous summer. You had Drysdale's wedding this summer. Like, it's easy to see why these teams, like, people don't really appreciate how easy it is to get out of sync. Like, even look at the Olympic break. Like, I guarantee you, there's going to be a stumble out of the Olympic break,
or an injury,
but
with that schedule, it's a hard one to. You can't really do that stumble though. No, Anaheim, LA, San Jose, like. No, LA, San Jose, you need to take for sure.
And you
need to take
back
2 of those 3.
Into a corner on that, right? With what they've done up until now. That's the thing. They don't have the room for error that they might have had previously.
That's right.
Until they have that great January that's coming up, and they don't lose a hockey game, and they're right up there. Because that's what they do in January. But if not, then I'll be on your side, Dash, where I'll be worried. But still not worried. Perfectly zen when it comes to Edmonton Oilers making the playoffs.
February 1st to March 7th, they play 7 games.
That's crazy.
They accept McDavid and Draisaitl and Ekholm likely. The 3 of them will have a few extra games in there because they'll have been at the Olympics.
Tomasek.
So they'll all guaranteed, was it 3 games?
Szymanski.
Knock them.
I wonder if Szymanski make the German national team.
Oh, maybe.
Speaking of Bako.
Yeah, maybe.
Some real hot stuff going on in Bakersfield right now.
Well, it is California, Kevin.
I know.
What are you referring to?
Quinn Hudson.
Yeah. Scorching.
2 points a game right now for the last 9 games.
Looking like Lane out there.
Yeah. Might be time for a call-up soon because sure as hell the middle 6 could use that.
Yeah, I feel like that would reward accountability. They don't really do that.
Look, as much as we make fun of accountability, I think it's hard to make a case that there's no accountability on that team. It's a weird kind of accountability.
Sure,
sometimes,
fair.
sometimes they pick weird spots to drive accountability, right? Like the Evan Bouchard thing a few weeks ago, where they benched Bouchard for that stick infraction. Like
of all the reasons to bench,
you don't bench him for the 26 giveaways up until that point in that game.
The 3 games you cost them.
Yeah, but for
the game 6 you cost them.
For every game that he costs them, how many games does he win?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just one example, right?
Yeah,
Bouchard's
right. Yeah.
like, to me, you bench the egregious stuff, and they don't do that frequently enough. Like, there are times that guys should be riding pine for 5 or 10 minutes to make a point. Like, you have even Brett Kulak, Darnell Nurse, like those guys at some point in the season should have ridden pine.
Yeah.
2 hours, we're done. We're up. Reminder for tomorrow, the Hangout. It's only going to be an hour Hangout, and there is no lock shop tomorrow. It was from 10 until 12. Myself, Lieutenant Eric, Hernan Salas. We've got special coverage of Canada's World Cup draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Who is Canada going to play in their first 3 games? We will find out tomorrow and break it all down right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kevin, thank you so much for coming in. It was great having you. This was a fun Hangout. Enjoyed this.
Again.
Absolutely. Dash, it's good having you as well. It's great. Thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having me back for the 30th time. And
30, number 30. Looking forward to 31 and looking forward to number 2.
Are we so disappointed with the nasties that we should count down our last few minutes here? Or?
I'm never disappointed with the nasties. HeavyHockey.com for the latest articles, as well as Heavy Hockey podcast Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. On behalf of Kevin, Dash, Matt, thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Lock Shop, Two Guys and a Goalie, EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show, GCLD's Ulster pre and post game shows. That's all to come here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you once again for tuning in. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.